Antonio Brew here with Perceptive Outdoors. In this video, we're going to be doing a review on the AGM Adder 35-384. So stay tuned. Alright, so this is a review of the Adder, pretty much. This is the 35-384 unit. I've had this one for a little while now, been using it, and actually about ready to get rid of it, and I need to do a quick review on it just to get some stuff out there on it. So this scope is really awesome. I mean, for the money, you just can't beat it, and I'm going to get into a bunch of things. But to start with, the first thing that I want to share is the features and benefits of this scope. So number one, as you can see, it is a traditional style scope. It'll fit on pretty much any gun as far as that goes, as far as a bolt action or an AR style. So, you know, some of the smaller compact ones are harder to use on bolt actions if they don't have the right mount on them, but this one definitely comes with a great mount as well, so definitely can be used on different rifles. Alright, so this particular line, which is the Adder, they come in basically 4 different models. There are 2 384 models and there are 2 640 models, so there's a little bit of a range of resolution that you can choose from. And also, with that being said, there's different base magnifications you can choose from as well, so it gives you a little bit of you know, choice as far as like the style of hunting you're going to be doing. This one, like I said, is the 35-384. It comes in a 3x base magnification. There's also a 50mm 384, which comes in a 4x base magnification. And then the 2 640 units, one is the 35-640. That one is 2x base magnification. And then the 50mm is actually a 2.5x base magnification. So it really just gives you more options to choose from as far as like the style of hunting you're going to be doing. This one being a 3x is good for longer open fields. Whenever you start getting into real tight stuff, it's usable still being a thermal, but it's a little more difficult compared to another scope that I have, which is a 2x. It's really good on, you know, close-up things, which a lot of the places I go, we have close encounters. So I'm not saying you can't use this, but it just gives you a little bit of a different range. So these units all, as well, they have a 50 Hertz refresh rate, which is really good for when you're panning. It keeps your screen nice and crisp. These units all have a high resolution OLED display screen inside, again pushing the clarity. These units also have onboard recording and also onboard memory, and they have 64 gigabytes of memory inside, so you can put lots of videos on here, not have to worry about running out of space. Also, it has onboard recording, so you can record snapshots as well as you can record video. And a bonus of this unit, the Adder, they actually have sound, which is really cool. So before, on some of the other models, you could not record sound directly off the unit, but you could connect it to Wi-Fi and get sound coming off of your device. But these have onboard sound, so that's kind of cool if you're doing, you know, it just adds another element to your videos. These units have basically 4 color palettes. You got white hot, red hot, black hot, and fusion, what they call fusion, which is kind of like a rainbow style, which is blues and purples and yellows. Also, these units have the ability of having multiple different reticles as well as multiple different reticle colors. And the newest firmware update on these, or maybe not even on these units, but the newest user interface on the AGMs actually allows you to assign different reticles to different profiles, which is really cool, because before you couldn't even, you could just had one profile per reticle. So it just gives you a lot more adjustability. These units also have a standby mode. If you just bump the power button once it's running, it'll just shut the display off so you're not shining light everywhere and giving away your position. I really like that. Scopes that don't have that, I'm just not a big fan of, because when you're not looking through, if you're looking through a monocular, it's shining light everywhere and it could give away your position. This unit is also waterproof and shockproof, so definitely gives you an extra element of durability and while you're out in the field, as well as not having to worry about the rain or anything. You know, if a storm pops up or whatever, you ain't got to worry about it. The Adders also have a dual battery system where it has an internal battery which has about a 15-hour battery life. Very impressive battery life with this thing. I'm super impressed with it. But also, if you remove this top cap, you can put a CR123 in there to get another 3 to 4 hours out of it. I've never had to do that because the battery life on this thing is crazy. Being on a 4, 5, 6 hour hunt with this, I've barely even lost 1 bar out of 3. So really love the battery life on this. This unit also, here's where you charge, not this one, this is the menu, but on this side you take this screw off and you can actually charge the unit here for the battery. And you can also run this unit with an external battery if you did not have battery left in here or have another battery. But another cool part about that is I take the cord that came with it and I take, I don't have any here, but I take an external battery, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, and I put it here and I put it in my safe and I plug it in and I leave, and it charges until it gets full and then it just stops charging. So every time I go to grab it out, I just get my battery pack out, I recharge it, this is already full, and I go on my hunt, no problem, and it stays fully charged. So that's cool, because if you have kids or you just don't want to take your gun and plug it into an outlet somewhere or leave it in your truck and let it charge, you know, it lets you put it, lock it away and not have to worry about, you know, somebody getting a hold of it, or, you know, just keeps the safety element in play. This unit as well, the Adder, since the beginning of 2023, all 4 units have a fully transferable 5-year warranty now, which is basically the top of any thermal. You know, some units go 1 year, some go 3, some 4, but this is actually 5 years and it's transferable. So that's another huge play by AGM. The Adders also come with probably one of the best mounts on the market. This is a dual locking, fully machined mount by American Defense Manufacturing, and that just gives you, number one, it gives you a lot of adjustability when, you know, mounting it on any Picatinny rail, but also it definitely gives you peace of mind, you know, whenever you do lock it down, or if you were to take it off and put it back on. As long as you take a picture of where it's at on the rail and you put it back on, you should have no problem putting it right back on where it was and being in a 0 position. That's really cool, because there are other brands on the market that have really good scopes, but they don't come with mounts. And you know, this mount, if you were to buy it, is almost $200, and for the price point that this thing's going for, you're getting it at that price without having to pay that extra $200. I mean, it's amazing. And yeah, it's a lot of scope for the price. Now, there's obviously 4 models of these, but in my opinion, they're all priced at the bottom of anything comparable to it. So this scope in particular, the 35-384, is the lowest priced one in the series, and it is just, I mean, it's $24.99 plus tax. I mean, there's nothing really, in my opinion, that can touch it with price and clarity as far as that goes. Like, there's scopes that are more clear, that have higher resolution, but as far as like price versus usability, I mean, to me, this is it right here. This is like the best deal going right now. And that's why I have a hard time not pushing these, because what you're getting for the money is just unreal. So let's go ahead and move into what I like about this scope. And while I'm talking about some of this, I'm going to put some video on the screen, just some shots that, some stuff that I have recorded. So the first thing I like about this scope is the price. Every unit is priced really well. I mean, it's the best in its class as far as price goes. I already talked about the mount a minute ago, but I mean, I really like the mount on this thing. Again, it's one of the best made mounts in the industry, and you know, you just can't beat it. So the third thing I like about this scope is the clarity of it. It has a 12 micron sensor in it, and along with the OLED screen and the super fast refresh rate, just really keeps a really nice detailed picture. You know, it's not a 640 unit, but at the same time, it's definitely better than some of the other ones that I've seen. I mean, the clarity is pretty impressive to me. And you know, being that I've looked through a lot of scopes, a lot of different brands. Number 4, battery life. Oh man, the battery life on this thing, up to 15 hours. If you had an extra battery, you could get more out of it. And then if you got a battery pack, obviously, but you know, I don't really, sometimes battery packs are good, but I like to stay as wire free if possible. But up to 15 hours, just great battery life. You know, some units don't have batteries. It just makes it, gives you a whole nother element to have to worry about with this one, as long as it's charged. Or even if you know, hunted once and still had half a charge, you still have plenty of charge left to do another hunt. So battery life is a huge plus. Auto recording. So these units actually have an auto recording function. You turn it on, it records the whole time. Whenever it feels the gun recoil, it actually saves the video. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if you can save different like lengths of the video. I want to say it's like 17 or 19 seconds worth. But the cool thing is I just leave it on, and whenever the gun shoots, it automatically saves the video. Even if you are streaming, it'll still save the video inside the scope. And if you can be streaming and recording over here and still take a shot, and it'll still save the video here. It's pretty cool. But also, even if you hit record on here, you can still hit record and record while it's still, it'll still record the shot, I'm pretty sure. So it's cool, because the worst thing is to have something happen really fast and be shooting and then have no video of it, like, oh, I forgot to hit record. And that happens all the time to a bunch of people. I know it does, because it happens to me. So another great thing that I like about this is it has sound. A lot of the compact scopes don't have sound, and like I said, it just adds another great element to the mix. Just adds another element of like dimension to your videos if you're recording a lot. So the next thing that I like about it is it's very well built. This thing is in a full metal housing, so it feels real sturdy. Even the buttons are real nice and, you know, clicky. The actual little threads are real easy to thread on and off. The focus is not hard to move. I mean, everything is just super well built, and that's AGM. So that's pretty much it as far as the things I like about it. As far as the dislikes, I mean, the only complaint that I've even had with this thing is I like to run the rubber eyepiece. And the rubber eyepiece, I mean, I guess you could put a hole in it if you wanted to, because I know some of them have holes in them. But the rubber eyepiece, if it's super humid outside and you go to stick your eye in it and you're sweating real bad, it'll actually make the screen inside fog up, or the lens cap. And I've had that happen a couple times, and I just had to take this off. It just unscrews. So, which is kind of cool, because the ones that don't unscrew and they just slide on, sometimes they fall off in the field and you lose them, but this one unscrews, so it's pretty well made. But it does fog up sometimes, and I think just a small hole could probably fix that. But other than that, that's really it as far as the dislikes go. I mean, there's really not much to dislike about this thing. It's just a really good scope for the price. And just to recap really quick, this is the Adder. It is one of AGM's newest models out. It's more in the traditional style. It's definitely going to be a scope to beat for under $3,000. And I say that because most times you're paying tax on something like this, so you know, $24.99, depending on your tax thing, it's going to be somewhere around $26, $27. But definitely a great scope for the money. Comes with a super, you know, good battery, 15-hour battery life internal, and got to worry about keeping up with rechargeables or a battery pack if you don't want to. And has really good clarity as far as the the screen goes inside, and also the 12 micron sensor. So if you're looking to buy one of these, or you're just looking for more information on the adders, definitely check out my website. You can find them on perceptivegear.com, and there's also going to be a link in the description below. Feel free to drop a comment below if you have any questions about this unit. Definitely had some good experience with it. I really like the interface on it, which they just recently changed, so I got a lot of experience with that as well. And if you like this video, please smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the all notifications. And that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I guess we'll see you on the next video.